Okay, first data question, Winston. How does your data collection account for increasing privacy constraints as data will continue to decay over time? For example, IP relay, email relay, the demise of the cookie to cookie deprecation, etc.
So our platform was designed with data privacy issues in mind. The measurement solution does not require any personal identification and actually relies almost strictly on aggregate level data. We do have anonymized person level data given by a consumer credit rating agency that tells us the demographic makeup of the people in the different geographies around the nation. But we do not set tags on your website. We can work with identity resolved log level data, but it's not a requirement. There's no requirement for any sort of identity resolution on this platform, and you still get identity resolve individual level consumer insights from the measurement solution. So again, there's no need to be concerned about the pending cookie Armageddon. If and when it goes away, we're still fine. Our solution doesn't change. We're still robust to any sort of regulation changes or device setting changes that might occur.
Thank you. Along those lines, how do you handle Facebook walled gardens?
So we collect impressions data at Facebook placement level out of the Facebook API. It flows into our platform like data from any other API or flat file feed. Again, this is impressions at the placement level. The way this is handled is that it runs through our proprietary exposure and response simulation and recovers consumer level insights according to the reach and frequency of the Facebook campaigns in conjunction with the reach and frequency of all of the other platform campaigns that are running at any one time.
Makes sense. Thank you. Next question. What is the data integration methods for both inbound and outbound data?
So for inbound data, we, like I said, we have API connections. We have a subscription to a large API consolidator who has roughly 100 or more API connections. We've also built some of our own in-house, and for any that are still outstanding, our development team usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks to stand up a new API connection. But for media where there is no API available, and it's really just a matter of being able to download data out of whatever the data warehouse is on the customer agency side and load that to our SFTP, the flat file that's CSV pipe delimited, something like that, can be sent to an email alias that automatically feeds into an Amazon S3 bucket that starts our data ingestion process. For outbound data, we make available API from our platform, but the most popular is Snowflake, as well as Amazon S3 transfer.
And then what is the grain of data and the frequency of data for inbound and outbound?
So we ask for the most granular that's available in the inbound feed. Typically, this is something at a placement and creative level. In the case of, like, for example, offline traditional media, whether or not standard placements, our platform will take the most granular set of dimensions that are fed into the system and create a synthetic placement based on those. So then once our algorithm runs and it does all of its work at the placement creative level, it stores these results into Snowflake and Amazon S3. And this is the same granularity that is made available in the output placement creative level for all media.
Would you be able to touch on the frequency?
Sure. The frequency of inbound is really predicated on the availability of the data. So we have engineered platforms and feeds that are sending us data on a daily basis. And most of those are not surprisingly through API. But we recognize that there are some media, offline traditional media, typically that take longer to get the data, maybe a lag of a month. And so those inputs will come into us on a monthly basis. We train the model and run the reporting at the cadence of the slowest inputs. So for those customers who have daily inputs coming in, we can get the reporting and planning turned around in a matter of 24 to 48 hours, updates into the platform. And for those with the slower feeds that are taking a month or more, then the outbound update frequency happens at approximately 1 month intervals.
Thank you. Next question. Will you be able to provide granular attributed data?
Yes, one of the fundamental outputs of our platform is a user level customer journey data set that shows synthetic, virtual ID users, no PII, all of their simulated customer journey touch points, and the attributed credit to all of those touch points. This will be across all geographies and across all KPIs and all media. It can be a large file. In some cases, it's several gigabytes for a single week of data.
Thank you. And the final question, will the data loads be incremental or a full replacement?
So the inbound data, we prefer to be incremental. And for the outbound data, it will be incremental. We partition our outbound data by model training period, a few other dimensions. And so as the Snowflake shares execute, they update those latest incremental partitions. But again, on the inbound data, we prefer that they be incremental.
Thank you, Winston. Those are all the questions. For more information or for more questions for Winston, please reach out to marketingevolution.com.
Thanks, Vince.
Thank you.